Dubbed by some the most heated man in America.
Where to begin? I find nothing amusing or tolerable about this man.
For all of my critics, I told you all that I was the greatest of all time.
He's a simplistic fool. He's a disgrace to his country, his race, and what he laughingly describes as his profession.
Ali's title was taken, and it's his biggest rival who now stands in the way of Ali reclaiming it.
Joe Frazier.
Joe Frazier is Rocky. He could break your ribs.
He was gonna kill me.
But the biggest fight of Muhammad Ali's life wasn't in any boxing ring.
He was stripped of his title. He was denied a license to fight.
And denied to go overseas to fight.
Despite being the heavyweight champion, he wasn't allowed anywhere. Much of the American public detested Ali.
He will inevitably go to prison.
Many athletes take a stand for something. Not many are willing to die in prison for it.
If I'm gonna die, I'll die now, right here fighting you.
8 years ago, he stood on a podium in Rome. He was given a gold medal as an Olympic champion. He's unemployed as a fighter. His title is gone, ripped away by various boxing commissions. He's been sentenced to 5 years in prison for refusing induction to the United States Army.
Under no conditions do we take part in wars that take lives of other humans.
I find nothing amusing or interesting or tolerable about this man. He's a disgrace to his country, his race, and what he laughingly describes as his profession. He will inevitably go to prison.
I will say here boldly now on television. No, I will not go 10,000 miles to help murder and kill.
His rejected induction into the United States military forces.
Shoot them for what? They never called me nigga.
If I recall correctly, you said you were the people's champion? Yes, sir. Do you think that you're acting like a people's champion? Yes, sir. I'm not gonna help nobody get something my Negroes don't have. If I'm gonna die, I'll die now, right here fighting you. You my enemy. You my opposer when I want freedom. You my opposer when I want justice. You my opposer when I want equality. You won't even stand up for me in America, and you want me to go somewhere and fight, but you won't even stand up for me here at home.
You told a story about coming back from the Olympics with the medal.
Made me popular for a few days, but I wanted to do something good with it. At the time, black people was marching to eat in the white restaurants, and they wanted rights to go where they wanted to. So I said, I'll take this medal and I'll go downtown and I'll sit down in a restaurant. I got them on the spot now, and then I'll order something to eat. And I went downtown that day, had my big old medal on, and went to restaurants. At that time, black things wasn't integrated. The black folks couldn't eat downtown. The lady said, we don't serve niggas. And I had to leave that restaurant in my hometown where I went to church and served in their Christianity and fought, and daddy fought in all the wars. Just wanted to go medal and couldn't eat downtown. I said, something's wrong. They put me out of that restaurant. I said, this medal ain't worth a damn. Took it off my neck, said, it ain't no good. It ain't. Throw it to the Ohio River. I'm gonna fight not for me, but to uplift my little brothers. Boxing is just to introduce me to the struggle. But my main fight is for freedom and equality, and this is what I plan to do. I use my image to help or do all I can to stop a lot of people fighting and killing each other.
They were coming after Ali because of his stand against the war in Vietnam.
They thought they would weaken me and put fear in me by threatening to go to jail. We've never had a big black man that just stood up and identified with the struggle of his people.
His ranting and raving have all made him unpopular. He is hero now to few.
Do you have any regrets that you refused to join the army?
Many people believe in fighting for the freedom, and this is just part of what I believed. So it's nothing that I regret, not at all. If I regret it, then it wasn't sincere.
They say that actually, every time that I enter the ring, in a way, I'm going to war. There's one hell of a lot of difference in fighting in the ring and going to war in Vietnam. Boxing is nothing like going to war with machine guns, bazookas, hand grenades, bomber airplanes. My intention is to box to win a clean fight. But in war, the intention is to kill, 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 and continue killing innocent people.
While fighting imprisonment for his stand, Ali was also stripped of his title, denied a license to fight in the United States, and denied a visa to go overseas to fight.
They won't let me work in America. The government won't let me leave America where I can work, and I'm getting stronger, and it shakes up a lot of people.
No people gain freedom until some have to die, some lose their wealth, some give up money. So I just love the freedom and the flesh and blood of my people more so than I do the money.
He's a simplistic fool. He will inevitably go to prison, as well he should.
Finally, after 4 long years of fighting, Ali's conviction was overturned.
You're still the greatest.
Yes, sir. The greatest boxer that ever lived. I'm the first one that they had to take a title from in the history of all of the red, white, and blue. I'm the first one that they tried to make the world believe that wasn't the champion.
It's been years since Ali's title was taken. And it's his biggest rival, Joe Frazier, who now stands in the way of Ali reclaiming it.
Muhammed Ali, born Cassius Marcellus Clay, trains for the fight of his life.
Joe Frazier is Rocky.
I'm a champion. I'm the real champion. There'll never be one like me. I'm gonna prove I'm the greatest. He got the title because the draft took my title.
He called me a dumb fighter, but I tell him nobody never took my championship away from me.
It was dubbed the fight of the century.
I predict that when I meet Joe Frazier, this will be like a good amateur fighting a real professional. This man will be completely outmatched.
You got time. You got time.
This will be no contest. That's all I want to say.
All right, you fighting Joe Frazier.
Everybody knows this. That's not the point.
That's the point.
I'm the champ. You ain't. You the champ.
Right on.
The time may have come to say goodbye to Muhammad Ali.
I mean, why would you sit here on television and talk about me being afraid of Joe Frazier? I mean, that's wrong. I mean, we just don't get along no kind of way.
After this fight, I suspect Ali will retire.
This Trumpet's got everybody scared. Scared of what? Nothing to be scared of. Scared of what?
Manila wasn't about the heavyweight championship of the world. There was something much more important at stake. Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier were fighting for the heavyweight championship of each other.
They both understood that whoever won this fight would go down in history as the greatest boxer of all time. It was the closest to life and death we've ever seen in the ring. Two equally matched fighters at the top of their game.
Didn't seem that you could survive that.
By the 12th round, Ali had regained his edge over Frazier. It was only a question of whether he could last.
It looked like Ali was going to have to quit the corner because he was getting so beat up. He said, I feel like I'm dying. This must be what death feels like.
Boxing is just to introduce me to the struggle. But my main fight is for freedom and equality, and this is what I plan to do. I'm gonna fight not for me, but to uplift my little brothers.
Muhammad Ali, maybe he can pull off a miracle.
Frazier could not see, and Ali knew what he had to do to win, and he could keep wailing away at will with that jab in his eyes.
Joe came back to the corner at the end of the 14th round. That's it's all over, Joe.
He said, you can't see, and I know it. I said, I can visualize it. Don't worry about it.
But Ali's jabs were too much for Frazier.
Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier!
And it's all over. Ali has defeated Joe Frazier. Ali wins.
This is the most joyous scene ever seen in the history of boxing.
Things that I want to do, holding the world heavyweight title opens a lot of doors. There are a lot of things I want to promote as far as human rights, as far as people uniting, coming together, loving, respecting one another, helping bring peace to the world. There's a lot I could do with the title, and the longer I hold it, the more I do, so that's why I stay in it.
It's sad because, he's a great guy, and hoping that maybe he could live the kind of life that we live, I'd love to see him do that, because he earned that.
In 1984, Muhammad Ali was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. At 42, the greatest faced a future of diminishing physical ability.
You've described him as the fighter you most admire. Your old adversary, we've flown him from Philadelphia. Smoking Joe. Joe, how did you come to be giving Muhammad Ali a lift in your car?
We rode into New York City. This guy would not let me get one word in. All through the whole ride, he started talking about smoking Joe Frazier, and you whip me. Ladies and gentlemen, a great guy. We love him. He's a fine champion.
Oh, Lord.
Congratulations.
There's no Ali without Frazier. There's no Frazier without Ali.
No one knew who was going to light the Olympic flame. It was a very well guarded secret. And it was one of those images, I think, that will last for such a long time because it was spot on.
You had Ali there with the torch. His hand was trembling.
I just never looked at him as a boxer. I looked at him as a tremendous personality, perhaps the greatest I've ever met.
Muhammad Ali struck us in the middle of America's darkest night, in the heart of its most threatening gathering storm.
I felt like America finally says, hey, we got a hero here.
Because this is a hard world. Don't nobody give you nothing. You have to work for it. Right?
Right.
I think he's a credit to the fight game, and I think he's a credit to humanity.
So I tell these youth to find their purpose while they're young, because life is short. I try to tell them to do all they can to be something in life.
I'm happy because I'm fulfilling my purpose of life. See, everything was created for purpose. Trees have a purpose. The moon has a purpose. And the wise man is he who knows his life purpose. See, 10 men with the knowledge of their purpose are more powerful than 1,000 men working from morning until evening and who don't know their purpose.
Not only left him shattered, but also out of his mind.
This is my best thinking at the time. Get my gun, automatic, just like this, and just go crazy.
Who are you gonna hurt?
Regardless. That's just my first thought.